Jersey Supreme Court has spoken today. Sundiata Acoli convicted of the 1973 murder of Trooper Warner Forster, which happened alongside Joanne Chesimard, who later fled to Cuba. Acoli is not getting out of prison anytime soon. He had an appeal in front of the Supreme Court because parole had been okayed for him by a lower court. The Supreme Court today said there needs to be a full parole board hearing before anything can happen with his freedom. This guy's in his 70s and he's going to be in jail for at least a few more months until this hearing can get put together. I got a chance to actually wait for this decision with Margaret Simmons, who's the widow of Corrections Officer Robert Glen Simmons, who was shot in the back during a prison riot that Acoli orchestrated back in 1976. Robert Glen Simmons was never the same man afterwards. He suffered from chronic pain and died with the bullet still in his back. We sat down in Margaret's Mercer County home, and Margaret was really nervous. She said that one of the things that gave her husband peace during the last days of his life.
He said to me several times, the one thing that gives me peace is I know that Squire will never see the light of day.
And this morning, that was all threatened because the Supreme Court could have immediately released him. So Margaret was very nervous when the decision came up.
Oh, here it is, here
Right.
it is. The remedy imposed by the appellate division is reversed, and the matter is remanded for further proceedings consistent with this opinion.
Now, these are long decisions, they're kind of complicated. We didn't quite know what exactly we were looking at, but when we came to the part where it said that the full parole board was going to decide what happened next and victims would be allowed to give their testimony, Margaret was obviously unbelievably relieved.
Oh.
Are you all right? Are you feeling better?
Oh.
Okay.
What was her emotion like? I mean, this guy has not been charged with her husband's murder, even though he died as a result of the gunshot.
Well, Glen Simmons died in 2010. Some doctors have said that the bullet wound from Acoli shortened his life. She actually talked to the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office a year ago about potentially bringing charges against Acoli. Yeah. Nothing's come of that, and the real heart-wrenching thing for her is that in order for that to happen, they would have to dig up her husband's body because the bullet, which is the evidence, was in his back and was buried alongside with him. So she's in pain no matter what. And what Margaret was telling me today, too, it's something that always kind of gets me when I hear her talk about it, is that she said her husband was on the floor, shot in the back, on the tier in Trenton State Prison, and could hear Acoli's voice from the top saying to another inmate, "We got Simmons, now go down and shoot him in the head."
We had the death penalty for cop killers, wouldn't even be having the conversation. Thanks, Alex.